toast kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you both rock the branded bills?
I have it right now. This is my summer hat. So it's like this is a sports version one that, it's a lot better for summertime. So
I'm a big fan
which
of
he
that
naturally uses in the northernmost part of the country.
I use it for like 6 weeks.
Unbelievable.
That sucks.
So
Yeah,
I definitely like the branded bands. Got a couple of them. The one that I recently found is the most comfortable hat ever. And I'm one who I like the old school. What's the non adjustable hat? The what are those called?
Flex Fit?
Yeah, the Flex Fits and all those. Mm-hmm. But there's a outdoor company called Kuiu, Kuiu. Oh yeah,
I'm looking it up.
Yep, primarily for hunting and whatnot. But their hat, they got a particular one. It's phenomenal. It's super light, breathes like crazy, holds the shape no problem. I've had that thing doused in rainstorms and all mudded up and whatnot, and just wash it off real quick. It's like brand new again.
That's perfect. Need that.
Why can't I find hats on their website? It's getting to me.
Oh, it might be under accessories or something.
Performance headwear.
There you
go.
That's fancy.
Is it? Is it like a build hat, or is it some other kind of outdoor hat?
I living in Vermont, one of the things you're always looking for is cold weather gear. Mm-hmm. And I've found them to be the best. Like over the past year or two, I've been switching out to like all their stuff.
Oh, we're not that far. I'm in Syracuse.
Oh,
you use some cold weather gear.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah, you guys get hit hard.
Yeah, awesome. I actually love the weather up here. I start to melt.
I'm ready. I'm ready to move more south where I got a few more weeks of summer.
Yeah, we're dealing with like so many days of 100 degrees here in Nashville this year. It's quite unbelievable. So just melting.
Yes.
But it's all good. It's rough. We get good weather.
I'd rather have it hot than too cold. I can handle the heat.
All right, 3 seconds, guys.
3, 2.
Boom.
Boom.
That just comes in hot.
It's loud.
Purple versus gray today. We all got the memo.
There is a coordination thing going on here. That's impressive. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Alex texted me before the show. He's like, "What color shirt are you wearing?" I was like,
"What are you wearing, bro?" Gray polo.
You never want that. Yeah, that's I'm wearing a gray polo. What are you wearing? What are you wearing?
I came in with a white shirt one day, and everybody on my team was like, "Whoa, I don't know what to do with this."
Sometimes I don't wear a hat just to really mess with people.
Yeah, the best. Sometimes I don't wear a shirt just to mess with people.
Well, I would have
never happened.
How far can we go with that?
Never. Yeah, too far. I already went too far.
If you wore a white shirt, man, you got to change all the lighting up.
I know. This is a new office for me, so like I got shelves and stuff going up next week or 2 weeks. It's been too long. We're in a new building, and my office is the last to be done, as usual with any parent, right? Your stuff gets the last attention. Kids get all the good stuff.
Yep.
I hear you.
Well, it is kind of funny. None of this was planned, I don't think. I mean, you guys planned your beards. That's obvious, but
we did. We actually we bought shapers for them. So like we actually shave we're like, all right, shave around the shaper so the loop is the same.
We sell them on the website.
Now, which website would that be?
Asodu.com. It's the one.
Beardshop.asodu.com. Hold on, I've got to fix the domain. No.
Yeah, right. There's a hat that comes with a beard attached. There's that version if you don't want to go full commit on the beard.
Yep. Exactly.
Or we can't get a dark beard like you guys.
Yeah, we didn't invent the solution for that, but it exists.
I think most of mine's turned gray.
It happens.
Mine's coming. I'm working on it. I'm
proud
of it, though. So.
Get some of that just for men. Comb in the.
I'm excited for mine to go gray. Actually, I'm looking forward to it.
I know. I've got these like two spots, right? It's just kind of right here, and I feel very distinguished because of it. That's what I'm telling myself, at least.
Who's that Marvel character that's got the two? Is it
Doctor Strange, right?
Yeah, that's
Doctor
right.
Strange. That's what I've been going for.
He's awesome.
Yeah. So good.
Very cool.
Yeah. You might be able to pull that off, Kyle.
Yeah. He could.
I like at night. I just go like this, right? Just like.
Oh, it's so good.
Well, guys, it's the first time we kind of got two shows working together here, at least on a Refresh Friday.
I love it. Thanks for having us. This is awesome. I love the vibe of this show. This really is just like a nice Friday type show, right? Like we're just going to talk about some things. We're just going to take it easy for a minute, get into some deep stuff, but not right now, right? It's really good.
If Jeff could just get Fridays off from the dealership, we would include alcohol in this.
Oh man, then you'd have it.
Oh boy.
Include have a little open bar.
Well, we should mention that Jeff is running off a cell phone connection right now.
It's doing good. Mm-hmm. It looks really good.
I'm proud
of it.
Sounds
really good.
It works.
I'm surprised. I know.
He said, "I'm proud of it." The cell phone. Good job, buddy. Good job, little guy.
Yeah. I didn't think it would work.
Yeah, your store's been without internet. You said for 2 days. Like that's
Wi-Fi has been down. Several different computers, something with the IP address. Who knows what all is going on? But yeah,
who's the person that's running around like crazy because of that? Like there's somebody that didn't sleep last night.
Everyone's running around like crazy, but apparently we no longer have someone on the premises to take care of these things.
Oh no.
Yeah. Dude, a lot of dealerships do that though. That
True.
They outsource the IT, and a lot of these IT companies are remote.
Oh yeah.
So they don't have someone close by to jump on the premises when something.
That doesn't
goes
work
down.
really great if your internet's down.
I know, exactly.
Like yesterday, David Long or Hansel, he posted a video of him in a car being driven by a driver in Poland, right? So there's no one in the seat and the car's being remote. And my first thought was like, I don't trust any internet that much. Like what happens if there's like a buffering thing? Like my kids play Fortnite. I know what happens if their internet goes down, right? They come back to it and they're dead. Right, that's what happens.
Yep.
Right? It's like, what happens in the car in that moment, right? I don't know. I'd actually trust a robot driven, like an autonomously driven car, I think, before I would trust a human in another country controlling the vehicle.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
That's fair. I'll take it.
Yeah, but a lot of these, a lot of the IT companies, they just dial in, and I guess they're able to get 90% of what they need to do without being on the premises. So
makes sense.
Yeah, I guess.
There you go. And you don't have any internet. And you don't have any internet.
Yeah. until they cross the streams on the IPs.
10%.
It's good to be in that 10%, isn't it?
Your IP is with the Denny's down the street right now.
Denny's guest is what he's rolling on.
Right.
Yeah. Deliver me some moons over my hammy.
They figured out the password Mercedes 123.
It's just Mercedes 1.
All lowercase.
Wasn't that the actual car from Spaceballs? It was Mercedes 1 on or Drew Idiot 1 or something?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
God. I don't remember
long
that at all.
That's a throwback right there. That's a throwback.
Oh my God.
Well, the
Way
1, 2, 3 got me thinking about the combination to my luggage from that.
right.
Yeah.
A long time
And
since
then
I've thought of
Mercedes,
Rick
where
Moranis.
Jeff's sitting right now. So anyway, so you guys are here to talk about whatever the hell we want to talk about, plus the Automotive State of the Union, some of the work that you guys have coming up there. Can we hit on that
what's going
first
on?
and then get into the whatever the hell we want to talk about?
We can do
Sure.
that. We
Go
can
ahead,
do that.
Kyle.
Well, yeah. So, we're just trying to. Well, one, we're making the rounds because we just want as many people as possible to just kind of hear about what we are doing. And for those that have been a little bit around, the social media and live streaming audience in automotive might have seen Paul putting on the first Automotive State of the Union live streams back at the early pandemic, and there's been a lot that has happened since then. But
If you don't say.
if you don't say, and a couple of the, with me coming on board and becoming a part of it as I moved away from the dealership, and then early this year we raised a small round of funding from dealers to kind of to set this off as a real company, with an emphasis on media and community, right? And kind of like creating ecosystems of which community can be integrated together, and media supports that both in content or daily emails, podcasts. And then there's, ever since we've started talking about it, there was this deep-seated desire to throw a live event and do it in a way that we hadn't seen before in auto, at least. Not that nobody's ever done it exactly, in a similar way to us before. We're actually drawing from a lot of ways that both Inside and Auto have done events. But a couple months ago, we finally said, hey, look, we're actually going to throw an in-person event, and we're going to call it a SoduCon. And so we just went all out, and we've termed it the rebirth of the auto conference. Not because we think that auto conferences are just awful, but we think that if the way that we're engaging as dealers and customers and technology and processes is shifting and changing, then we probably should start to reimagine and reinvent the way that we've been doing conferences for the last 25 years in auto. And so we know that we can only have like 600 people at our event. So the desire is to just maybe show the rest of automotive, hey, here's what might be possible. And so we're throwing it in a bar, which is very automotive, and we're doing the welcome reception in a dealership, which is very automotive. Right?
Lines in the bathroom too?
Yeah, definitely not that part.
Not that part.
Yeah, and Paul can dig in a little bit more, but we're really excited about just the way that we're going to organize the content, that we're doing a lot of the build up to it, and introducing, because a lot of events, and obviously everyone knows that events are put on by sponsors and ticket sales, right? But we all kind of go into events in this like, oh boy, am I going to get hunted down by the next vendor, right? As the dealer side. And then the vendors are like, did the dealers even want to see us here? And so we're really trying to enter it with a level of collaboration and in an effort to solve the customer experience, not solve like what we do as industry partners and dealers and OEMs and customers, but say like, here's the customer experience. We're going to put that out here. And if we need some level of collaboration or new ideas or anything that we target that with everything that we're leading up to and doing at the conference and the content that we explore afterwards. So yeah, that's what we're doing. We're throwing down September 11th through the 13th in Philly. And
Philly.
It's going to be really fun.
There's a lot of excitement around Philly. I mean, I grew up in Philly, so that's one of the reasons I'm very familiar with the venue, right? Right. I grew up literally like a mile and a half from where we're having it. So it's right by all the pro ballparks. So just the energy in that part of town, it's just literally 4 pro stadiums or, venues anyway. And this venue that we're having it at is Kyle said a bar, but it's actually like a mini sports arena. And it's where you go to watch the game if you can't be at the game. So there's a main hall. There's 4 restaurants, one on each side. We're turning all those into side stages. On game day, when people are packed in there, like this place holds like 10 to 12,000 people. We're setting it up in conference mode so we can hold less than that. But there's going to be main stage, side stage, podcasts going on. One of the things that we're really excited about is Monday night, ASOTU, which is ASOTU, Automotive State of the Union. We really see a lack of anyone really reaching deep into the dealership and kind of wrapping around from the lot porters all the way up through the GMs. Usually at events you see owners, GMs, maybe some sales managers, some directors, but very rarely do other people get to go and partake in those events. That's why with ASOTU, we're saying we want to draw a big circle around everyone in the industry, because the more people in the industry that have some level of awareness on the macro and also about what other departments are doing, we think that speeds up innovation. And in this environment, we know that if we don't innovate faster, we're not going to be able to keep up. We believe franchise retail automotive is the best way to sell and service a vehicle. And we just have to prove to a lot of people that it is, including OEMs in a lot of cases. So on Monday night, we're throwing a big concert. We're converting the whole venue from conference mode to entertainment mode. And we're inviting everyone that works at a dealership anywhere. Obviously, we're going to have a high concentration within the greater Philadelphia area, but we think our attendance is probably going to swell from like 600 to like 3,000 or 4,000. And we're going to have just free if you work at a dealer, you can come for free. And it's going to have, fun stuff like a silent disco, live karaoke. We're actually flying in Nashville's hottest party band called 12 South. And we're going to have an open air concert outside. Just again, as a show of solidarity in the industry. And we want to get those people that go into their store maybe every day and think like, oh, this is just my job, and show them that this is an amazing industry to be a part of. And, sometimes you can't fully appreciate something until you see somebody else appreciate it. And so we're hoping that we're able to engage and kind of energize people that never thought of retail automotive as like the best place to be. And so that's going to be a unique thing Monday night, and we'll see how it goes, right? It's never been done before. So it might be a huge disaster, or it'll be a lot of fun. Either way, we're doing a thing.
Yes. I thought you guys had mentioned that the original entertainment was going to be Nickelback.
It's Kyle's favorite band.
That's my favorite band. They would play the same 19 songs in a row, but with different lyrics.
No, it'd be wild. I was going to say it's 19 different songs, but
same chords, different lyrics, right?
I'll tell you what, though,
they're known for
good businessmen.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and so if people are watching and they want to know more, it's ASOTUCon, ASOTUCON.com. We've got probably 90% of the sessions up. We have locked our sessions. It's just, getting the actual, like clicking the button and writing the descriptions and all of that is not done. But what we've done is it's all like fireside chattish. So we've actually got over 70 voices and speakers that are coming, because we wanted to have a wide range of industry partners, dealers, and outside of automotive coming in. So we've actually split that in thirds, right? So it's outside of automotive is a third, industry partners is a third, and then a third of dealers. So that way that there's a lot of different voices there within the conversations. And so that's a lot of fireside chat, some like mini keynotes, like 18 minutes long. And then actually the keynote speaker will be Jim McKelvey, the co-founder of Square. So, just trying to bring some fresh energy to that, that venue, like the ribbon banners all around. And I think there's like 220 TVs in the venue. So, we'll light it up and have a whole lot of fun.
Nice.
What made you guys decide on that venue? And on top of that, have you ever been to, a different conference that really had a standout venue? Was there something that like sparked the whole idea?
We kind of employ this mindset even when we do workshops and stuff, that there's a certain mindset people go into the traditional venue with, right? Like you go into a conference center and a manila colored rectangle workshop, and you go in with the same demeanor, with the same expectation. And so kind of getting the mental pattern out of that, right? So from the moment you walk in, you're like, I'm somewhere different energy, different mindset. That's why we wanted a different venue to begin with. And so we picked that one. We were a little familiar with it, obviously, just from being there, but it was really something that catered to conversation. A venue like that is meant for group experiences and not segmented experiences. Like if you think about what you want to do when you want to watch a game with, all of your other fellow fans that you don't know, but you believe in the same things, right? So it just caters to that energy. And we wanted to specifically make this event very, like Kyle just said, conversational, right? It's not a one way, here's some information, do with it what you want. Like in the pandemic, I think has taught us that the value, I mean, obviously you've been doing this far before the pandemic, but the value of programming where there's conversation is so much more impactful, where other people doing the same things that you're doing in a different way, and you can share ideas and ask questions. It's just been amazing. Like the Clubhouse app has done a huge favor to the automotive industry, right? Because people can like learn from other people. And so we wanted to make this event feel as close to that as possible. So this venue was the right one for that. Other events, we've never seen one quite pulled off this way, but one that inspired us quite a bit for sure was an event called VCon, which is Gary Vaynerchuk's NFT conference that he just put up on in Minneapolis. Went to that, and really, NFTs and Web3 in general just has a pretty passionate community that is all about openly sharing what they know, because there's a lot of education that needs to happen right now. And they did a really great job there of cultivating that environment while still making it fun and entertaining, but also making it like, hey, like we're here to do business and improve our businesses and grow and make money. And so those are a couple of cues that we took. And the cool thing about automotive is that you don't have to be like incredibly innovative in the macro. You just have to take some best practices from outside automotive and just recontextualize them. And if you do that, you can be like light years ahead in automotive. So we feel like we're bringing that energy in to the industry. And, we hope that all the other events and all the other people maybe take some cues from our event, right? Because we're now putting it in front of them and realize that's actually what's going to help be more. And vendors included. It's like the reason we're not doing a trade show floor. Trade show floors are great and they have their place, but I don't think anyone wants another one, right? So
no, not necessary.
No. So we were like, when we went in, anybody who's a sponsor, which we called collaborators, we're like, we have to do something special to engage and activate and not just like hand out some pamphlets and some stress balls. So, I mean, we have some companies that are setting up like little showrooms inside the venue. We have one company, VinQ, they actually filmed a virtual thing with these 11K cameras and like have this whole VR experience just for this event. TikTok's going to be there. Who else is, one company, Car Now, is literally just going to be serving people like during the meals, during check-in, because they want to drive down the point that they have the servant mentality in their business. And they're like, oh, we'll talk about the platform when it's time to talk about that. So again, we're just trying to take a different approach to like help people connect and take away that, predator and prey mentality that nobody really likes.
Right.
I know I'd only steal a vendor tag when I would go to NADA.
Yeah, because you can't flip your badge over because everyone also knows, right?
Yeah,
right. That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's good. And we're gonna have cornhole running the whole
away.
time. So
We
should set up a cornhole tournament.
They have it, a tournament,
dude.
Yes.
We hadn't even thought about
cornhole,
that yet.
Man.
Of course you do.
I played four games. I know, West Virginia, man. We played played 4 games with a friend last night.
Nice. Yeah. Anyone that's lived in Indiana, West Virginia, Ohio, or Michigan is like, I love cornhole. It's the greatest sport.
Uh-huh.
It's amazing.
It's not fun being a predator either.
No.
Go ahead, Jeff. Sorry.
It's terrible.
No.
No one's happy to see a predator. I've seen the National Geographic videos. I know what happens when a predator shows up. All the gazelles just scatter.
Oh gosh, someone needs to do a video of that
Absolutely.
NADA.
Absolutely. It'll be like Fender dealers. That's all.
That's actually like
got Joe Webb's name all over it.
It does, Joe Webb. Or I know we're not supposed to talk about frickin' tech on DealerRefresh, but you guys should do that. You guys should have some fun with that. I think you could crush that. Someone in marketing would own that right away. I like it.
So we can send a gorilla out there.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Whenever I was at Mile 1, we would have internal like little mini conferences just for all the dealerships. We would have some of our vendors come in, and one time we did it at this trendy bowling alley.
Nice.
It was actually really cool. It was a great setup. So everyone,
Because it got you out of the mindset.
bowl.
It broke the
Yeah,
pattern.
got to bowl a few games, and then they put like a little stage. You were able to bring it out in front of the on the lanes, and we had different TVs and monitors and stuff hooked up, and then each vendor sort of had like their own little area, But again, it was vendors that we were already working with, so it was just reestablishing conversations, discussions, and what they're doing for each dealership. It was cool. It was one that only sticks out in my mind.
How many people do you think were there?
Probably close to 100, 110, 120.
So
it was just for our dealerships, but it was cool.
Right.
No, I'm saying definitely a critical mass where you don't get to talk to everybody, but you do have meaningful conversation. You probably reconnect with people you haven't seen, right? And you have a shared experience that you still remember as impactful to this day.
Yeah, it was great.
Yep. That's awesome. We're actually, I don't think we talked about this specifically, but we're starting at a dealership. So we're doing the welcome reception at a large dealership called Sioka Subaru. And so it'll be, reception based, but they just had their grand opening a month or so ago, and they're, it's got like an atrium, like a 5-story atrium where they're going to be putting lifts whenever they get cars again in, but it overlooks the city. So as it gets dark, it'll be cool to be up there. They've got multiple stories. The service lane is so large that we'll be able to have everyone in there to start, and we'll move throughout the dealership and people can take a look at it. Plus, it's September 11th, so we've got a charity. The charity, actually, this might be the first time we're announcing it, is Light Up to Live. It's a charity that was started by a dealer group and its principal in Texas, that had a big passion for veterans and military, and I think his son was in the military. But they provide light therapy and service dogs to veterans that need it. So cool. just trying to, and dealers are giving back all the time anyway. So we were like, what better than to be in a dealership, provide a way for people to give back on September 11th to veterans, right? It just checked all the boxes, and we've got some cool partners partnering up with us for that. But that's not live on the website or anything yet. That should be next week. So this is like, we just announced it.
Yeah, you need to get that up.
Breaking news.
Yeah. And be sure to, feel free to promote that over on DealerRefresh. We can either put it up for you, send me the data, or just jump in there and, I'll make it sticky so it's at the top of each category.
Thank you. That's awesome.
Actually, guys, one of the things that DealerRefresh does is if you have banners to promote your conference, any conference can come over and put banner ads up for free. That's something we let any conference do. Just get word out. So we're big fans of getting people together physically. So
nice.
Love that.
We need to
do
that.
I
haven't been on
DealerRefresh
in at least 7 months.
September 11th. Can I sneak down there?
Yeah, you should. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, you're not that far from me. Only a few hours.
Yeah. We got a few people coming from Maryland. Yeah. So
Philly's a good airport to connect to. Anyway, it's an easy one for a lot of people.
Great, and literally the venue is like 6 minutes in an Uber. It's in Philly. The way it's structured is like the venue, all the sports stadiums are at the south end of the city. The airport's at the south end. So if you fly into Philly, it's like so fast to get there and back. So it's not like, if you go to, I don't know, an event in Chicago, right? You land at the airport and like 50 minutes later, you maybe get where you're going.
You might have gotten out of the airport by then.
Right, exactly. No, this is so easy in, easy out, and even like the reception is only a few miles north, or not even a few miles, a few minutes north. So we tried to keep everything close to, just to do that. So if you come in, Philly,
and starting on Sunday at 5:30 and done it on Tuesday at noon. So just like we didn't want to go 3-4 days or anything like that and wear people out. We just wanted to be good, pump a ton in there, get in, get out, make sure you got some energy, some great insights, and dial it in. So Tom Dahl from Subaru is joining us, so it'll be great.
Nice.
You'll appreciate that. That's for sure. So who are some of the other speakers that maybe I'm sure you've already announced or maybe haven't announced?
For starters, all of our dealer investors are going to be there and fully activated. So that's Damon Lester, Brian Benstock, Liza Borchitz, Patrick Abad, David Long, Scott Simons. I think I got them all. Is that 7? Brian Kramer's no longer a dealer.
So,
Brian Kramer will be there, but he crossed the side. We're like, now what do we do? Like, Brian. Yeah. So they'll be there. Like Kyle said, Jim McKelvey's our featured keynote. We have Claude Silver coming, who is the chief heart officer for VaynerMedia. It's kind of fun that they just announced that Sonic hired VaynerMedia to do the branding for Echo Park. So some of my worlds are coming together, which is cool. Claude Silver is going to be there. Dave Meltzer, kind of an epic businessman. He's got content everywhere. He owned or he was running the sports agency that is the one in Jerry Maguire. So he's just full of insight. So a lot of outside automotive voices. We got an epic music video director named Darren Doan, who's a friend of Kyle and mine. Real troublemaker. His music videos have like 1 billion views on YouTube. Everybody from like Kid Rock to Jason Mraz and the original Blink-182 video, Zach Brown Band. And so like, that's the outside automotive stuff. And then we have, Kyle, like another 60 automotive speakers.
Yeah. We got Alex Vetter, with Damon Lester, we already said. Yeah. I mean, they're all on there. If I tried to name a few, it'd be like, what you forgot about me. Right.
Yeah.
Our mutual friend Ben Hadley will be there, and
I think there's going to be a lot of people that meet a lot of people for the first time.
Yeah.
Right. There's going to be a lot of people that have said like, oh, I've been, jamming with you in Clubhouse rooms and on podcasts and in Zoom calls, but we've never actually met in person. There's going to be a whole lot of that happening at this event because, even people from, the Auto Genius community that Kyle helped start, a lot of marketers, a lot of operations. And yeah, it'll be one of those moments where there's like, oh, we've actually never met in person, but I feel like I know you already because we've had so much interaction. I think there's going to be a ton of that too. But all the speakers, or most of them, Kyle, are up on asotocon.com. I think.
Yeah, I think maybe all but 2 are up there just because we're waiting on their headshots. But Eric Tiffany Wells, Alan Haig, Jason Stein will be there. Then you've got
Alex, you should pull it up.
Yeah. Yeah, you could go to asotocon.com and find it.
We
got Alex Flores, Andy Wright. I mean, you got just a bunch of people. Some people that like are good friends, like Damien Boudreau, is gonna do a session on like the gift of dreaming. So he's just gonna, it'll be like a real personal kind of like culture session, which will be really neat.
I was gonna say, are a lot of the sessions, are they specific to dealerships and the operations, or is it more, high levels, thinking type of stuff? That sounds horrible. Thinking.
It's kind of probably 50-50 on that. Yes. The answer is yes.
So we have three different side stages. So one is operations based. There's one that's sales and culture, and one is technology and marketing. And then there's the main stage with some of the higher level stuff. So it's going to be very tactical in a lot of areas. Kyle and I run in marketing circles quite a bit. So, it might be easy to think it's going to be a marketing conference or just a leadership one. It's not. It's going to be extremely tactical with some of the savviest operators across the country are going to be here. So we're trying to find that blend, right? Because sometimes it gets so high level that it's not really practical, and you might leave feeling like, oh, I can take on the world, and then nothing actually changes. Mm-hmm. And then it can get so tactical that your eyes glaze over and you have so many ideas that you don't implement any. So we're trying to strike that balance. And the goal of like getting in and getting out in that less than 48 hours is that, we feel like most people leave conferences feeling exhausted and overwhelmed, right? Because by day 3, right, that the worst things start to happen, right? People start to move their flights up. Vendors want to pack up because no one's there. And it's just like they don't die a really slow, painful death. So, we're kind of taking the approach like the first rule of a rock concert, right? You always stop playing when people want to hear one more song. So we're going to try to employ that mentality, and the conference will be over, and people will be like, man, I wish it was just a little bit longer. So that's what we're shooting for.
Cool.
I haven't met Damon Lester in person.
Oh, he is a sleeper, man. You're going to meet him and realize he's one of the smartest people and one of the like most connected, savvy people you've ever met. He's from Philly too, so he's excited to come home.
Well, he runs a pretty important little group there.
Well, yeah, a little bit. He knows everybody. He
Yes.
just knows everybody. It's ridiculous.
We had him on Refresh Friday last year, I think.
I think so.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Maybe no. It was not. It was after some of the shakeouts from the pandemic and the shutdowns and everything had occurred, and all the incentive monies had been passed along and whatnot, and it was eye-opening to hear about some of the stories and things that had occurred. But yeah, you guys have got a hell of a
nice list,
attendee or really speaker list here.
We're doing a thing.
Yeah, so we have like 30 days or 31 days till the event, and it feels like really soon and really far away all at once. The way we've operated with ASOTU up until this point was like, hey, we should do a really great after event at like a digital dealer. And like, we would really start planning the event and getting sponsors and like now for an event 30 days from now, which is would be an event someone would usually take 6 months to plan. But we're like, I don't know, let's just do it. So 90 days ago, ASOTUCon didn't even exist. The name didn't exist. The thought that we were going to do something in September didn't exist. And we're like, hey, if we're going to do a standalone event this year, it's probably got to be in September. We're like, all right, well, let's call that venue and see if they have any availability. And then like real quick, it's like, they do. Okay. How much? Okay. We'll do it. And so
that's a big we'll do it when it's that much money. And we were like, okay, so now we're gonna need to set some meetings with some people.
Yeah. No, and then we just went. I mean, we've been just going bell to bell nonstop, leveraging relationships. And we've built relationships over the year. We've just haven't been formalized as a company. But this is, I mean, it's a big ask. We had to raise a lot of money to make this event happen. We've never done a standalone like this before. But the difference between most event companies and us is like most events, they have an event and then they have some media around the event. We're flipped where we're actually a media company, which came out of just cultivating a community. Now, community is kind of like a buzzword these days, or it's getting to be. It's the same buzzword brand became, right? Over the last, everything was about brand. Now everything's about to be about community, but the principle of community is the same. And it really came out of the pandemic, came out of people that had a shared belief. And that's why I think we were able to pull this off so fast, is because we actually just have a community already established that is passionate about what we believe and what they believe about the retail auto industry. And so that communicates really well. And so also we leverage that to say, this isn't like a 36-hour event. This is actually going to be a 90-day event. And for the last, 30 days, for the next 30 days, and for the 30 days after the event, we're still going to be talking about the people and the products and the personalities that are kind of surrounding the event. So, we just launched a new podcast called Auto Collabs with Michael Cirillo. And so we've got, I don't know, something like 50 episodes planned. We've launched probably, I don't know how many we've launched in the last 2 weeks, like 12 half-hour episodes. We recorded some of it in person, and we're going to go back to Philly and do some more in person next week. So like this whole thing works that fast because the community is the base that it's built on, and not just like, hey, let's put on a show, So yeah, I don't know. Next year it'll be different though.
You guys don't know anything about building a community.
Yeah, not at all. No. Not at all. So that's the difference, right?
Next year you won't be building the plane in the air.
Yeah, right. We didn't need that landing gear when we took off, right? It was just too heavy. It's exactly it. And
sometimes that's how you have to do it, though.
We will. That's the thing. Like, we'll have some harebrained idea next year and be like, well, no one's ever made that plane before.
Without a doubt. We're growing up a little bit. We've been telling our very patient and, supportive sponsor group that we promise, like this year we had to like get a contract. And so we've been telling them like, hey, like we're growing up. We realize you have process, right? Like you can't say yes on a text message anymore. I got it. Right. And so we've actually just hired a director of partner development and success. So like, it's going to really up our game in bringing really our collaborators a lot of value and saying like, how can we move things forward? We're going to release a prospectus this year about what we're doing next year, because when we're trying to like let people know what we're doing, they're like, there's a thing called a budget, and we decided that budget like 9 months ago, and we've spent 80% of it.
Yeah. And even for like the dealer, the dealers that are a part of the community, we also recognize, deciding on an event at this point, like we launched the agenda last week, right? So deciding on whether or not that fits in the schedule is tough. So, as we keep going, we'll make sure that we have a little bit of planning. But one thing that we're always going to be diligent about, and maybe we always will wait to launch the agenda till very late, is because we also recognize, like, I think digital or NADA session requests were due in June this year for, it's like, actually Paul is speaking, and he sent in his thing, and it's like how to recession proof your dealership with brand or something like that is the title. And I was like, well, there's a good chance like we're not even talking about recessions by the time
I was like, I know, but they love that title.
Still be diligent about that, like making sure that the content
is on the title,
with whatever we do is relevant, so yeah.
When you launched DealerRefresh, what else was out there at the time that was anything like it?
Nothing. There was nothing when we launched.
What did you
like?
what was the process like in the startup of DealerRefresh? Like, how did that sound in the back conversations?
I think Jeff was just pissed off.
Yeah, I was just pretty well pissed off. No one was speaking the same language, at the dealership. So I was, I was trying to have a conversation with the GM or sales manager or something. It was just like deer in the headlights stare. What the hell are you talking about? So I was like, man, I need to find some like-minded people. So I plugged in a TypePad blog, and I just started posting, just see what the hell was happening. Back in the time too, I was really into SEO, so I had a pretty good grasp on that. So I knew what to go after keyword strategy wise. And,
what year was that?
It's always been organic growth.
2005.
Can we even stop for a second and try to remember what the internet was in 2005?
Well, WordPress didn't exist.
There was no such thing as uploading a video to YouTube.
No.
Right?
No.
Right? I mean,
none of that.
It was so different. But even still, you were like, hey, there's a way that I can get people together that kind of are thinking the same way so that we can get better. Right?
That was the whole point.
And you just did it.
That was the purpose.
You just did it. Right?
Yep.
You didn't follow a playbook. Right? And you probably did what would have taken a big organization, a lot of meetings, and a lot of planning to do it a 10th as effectively as you did it.
Yeah, it was it wasn't a lot of work. Again, most of it was just organic. And initially pissing certain people off. And
no, you're gonna do that. You're gonna do anything.
Well, Jeff, one of the things I think you're missing there when you use the word organic versus Paul talking about all the planning that a large organization would have gone through is that you had a passion. The people in the organizations that have to do all the planning have to do that because they have the vision isn't there for what's trying.
Well, he didn't start the conversation with how can I make this profitable.
Yeah,
right?
That too.
No, definitely not.
It started out with like, how can I solve this problem that I actually am facing from an angle that I'm actually seeing, and I believe there are thousands of other people that think and feel and are experiencing the same thing. Right. That's a winning
initially
formula.
I was actually against having any type of advertising and vendors because I didn't want there to be any persuasion.
Yeah.
Or I wanted the opportunity. So if someone had some shit to say about, a particular vendor because they're doing this or that,
you didn't want their logo to be on the screen.
Yeah. And, them calling me up saying, hey, could you delete that? I'm like, sorry,
right.
I'm not going to do that. You have to deal with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that always sort of steered me away from doing it. But once we had enough branding and people had a pretty good feel for who we were, what are our values and, how we view things, that made it a lot easier, and I even told, especially in the beginnings of vendors, I was like, look, because one of our packages includes where that particular vendor gets their own open forum, in the DealerRefresh forum, so they can use that for press releases, announcements, customer support if they want. And so, but before that, I would specifically say, you need to manage this, because some people do come in and they like to gripe about certain things. And, even though you're going to be an advertiser with us, know about it and maybe help you deal with it. But we're not going to delete it.
Right. But it's a massive opportunity.
We've never had any issues. Really, we've never.
Not really.
No, it's a great community.
I mean, I wouldn't. Never had any issues is a strong statement.
Well, the only issues we ever have.
No one ever died.
By Alex.
Okay. There you go.
Right. No one ever died.
We've been.
No one got arrested.
We've been banned from conferences. We've been served. We've been served 3 or 4 times from lawyers, and
I would consider that an issue if I was you, but that's just me.
I think Cox Service, Auto Trader served us. I think Auto Trader served us like 3 or 4 times.
Auto Trader?
Digital Dealer served us twice.
It was a gag order, right? Or what? No.
Yeah.
No. I don't remember. I caused that one, didn't I?
That was a long time ago. Yeah. Yeah. Mike Roscoe definitely had a thing for us back in the day. That's when Alex decided he was gonna post on what was it, April 1st as a joke, April 1st joke that Digital Dealer had been canceled.
Oh,
and he, nice little couple paragraph summary of the fact that it was being canceled, why it was being canceled. Yeah, that went over like a lead brick. That was great.
I can see that being an issue. I can see that being an issue.
We did an April Fool's thing for our email and social media accounts this year as a SOTU, and at that point we were still fairly small, so not enough people knew. But we definitely had to pull the team back a little bit on a couple of them. Throw out there.
Yeah. We had a good one. Brian Benstock launched his own cryptocurrency. We had Jim Fitzpatrick and Bridget juxtaposed with Pat Sajak and Vanna White. That was nice. A fun one. What else? What was the main story? Oh, I can't remember.
We had David Long was actually not he tested negative
for positivity. An unfolding scandal. Yeah, that was fun. Our team still to this day, every once in a while, like once a week, somebody will be like, "Oh, next April Fool's, we're doing this one." Right? We'll see how far.
Like they pin it in our Slack channel so they don't forget. It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
that works. That works.
Look, I think that if you're not getting in some trouble, then you're probably not pushing the envelope, right? Because someone's going to be upset with something you said. Like we went in on GM's decision yesterday, on GM's decision to force OnStar subscriptions for any Buick or GMC or Cadillac. And when we went in on it, right, we're like, this sounds like a really bad idea. We're forcing people to buy subscriptions for things that they wouldn't voluntarily pay for after you go and announce, that your goal is to raise subscription revenue to 20 to 25 billion by 2030 after you chastise dealers for selling vehicles over MSRP, but now you're forcing them to buy it kind of over MSRP, right? It's like there's all this contradictory information in there. And we put it out there like, hey, GM, we're putting these out there. It's our opinion. We love you. A good friend is going to let you know you have something in your teeth. You have something in your teeth, right? The dealer's going to be the one that has to actually field the questions. And they're exactly the group of people that you're trying to like improve the customer experience to. So like there's a part of like calling it like you see it in a way that is really like, hey, this is pro industry. We're trying to improve the customer experience. We're trying to do it. Right. Exactly.
Hey, you like the title of that one.
I like it. I like it. And so that's the point. Like trouble happens when someone innovates a different idea or introduces a way of facing it. And typically speaking, the person who built the thing in the first place that you're now questioning or changing, they have a vested interest in nothing changing, right? They built their castle on this premise and the world is moving it by. And anyone that says like, I think we can do it differently, I think we can do it better, right? is causing trouble for that person. So, we kind of say all innovation is trouble. And sometimes I guess you get served for it. We haven't had that happen yet. And I really hope that we don't still.
Hang long enough. No, we've seen quite a few. We've seen a lot of them come and go. In the online forum sector, ADM was pretty big. I don't even know if Driving Sales does anything anymore.
That was
I think so. Ralph Paglia. Yeah.
Ralph.
Yeah. R.I.P. Yeah.
So why do you think you have this? Why do you think you've had the staying power? What's the special sauce?
One, we never cared about the money.
Yeah.
So
it was never for that.
Yeah, we took sponsors on originally to fund the forums. So we started the forum in 2009 and needed a little more horsepower and server space for that one because you're not just hosting blog articles and some comments.
Yep.
So now when you move over, God, I can't even remember. V Bulletin was the first software we used there.
Yeah. VB.
And
yep.
Needed some extra coding help. Neither of us can code PHP. There was stuff there. So all the sponsorship money to this date has really just gone back into running the site, managing things. Like we've got some part-time help now, bookkeeper, IT, and then we call in a group that helps with the refreshes and any kind of new plugins or things that come up. Because a lot of the time, when you're dealing with PHP, the coders who do it, they support it for a year or two, and then they move on to a different job or get bored. Yeah. And now you got to go find something else. And anyway.
Yeah, we dealt with that.
But
yeah, I would think the other thing too was just the passion, because it's not ran like a traditional business, of course. Being at the dealership, on the dealership level, having that level of passion for it, and and just the people that it's attracted over the time. I mean, we don't have a lot of. We'll get the noobs, and I know the noobs are reading. We're able to see the traffic and such. Actually had a few people throughout this time where it's like, I don't feel too welcome there. It's like, what? Well, I don't know. Uncle Joe was too stern with me, or something like that. Everyone gets their feelings hurt nowadays.
Yeah.
So, but it's. I guess that's what builds, like you're saying, the community. You sort of get each community sort of has its own attitude per se.
Yeah.
And it's not a lot of noobs. It's not a lot of the questions that get asked. It's it's not how do you set up email templates, which that can be frustrating at times, because obviously we don't mind simple questions. We want to be able to help everybody out that we can. But after a while, you're just like, man, you should probably use the search feature.
right. There's a knowledge base, right?
Yeah, because and that's what always our biggest. Not to talk about competition, because it's not direct competition, but the one thing, because like I said, we've seen a lot of different forums come and go, or websites, community type sites. The biggest one is like Facebook, the Facebook groups. Once Facebook, because we were doing this really before Facebook.
That's
once
fun
the
to
groups,
say. That's a lot of fun to say.
Yeah. It's fantastic. But the different Facebook groups, but the problem with those is nothing's really archived. And if you want to search, oh, that's right, I remember I had a discussion about that 6 months ago. Well, have fun finding that on Facebook.
Good luck.
Yeah,
right.
Yep.
Yeah. Whereas with a forum like this, it's easy to find. You can highlight it, you can search for it, and it just continues to build on top. And a lot of times people put in a little bit more. They put a little bit more effort into the discussions than what they do on a social media site. They take a little bit more time to think about what they're going to write, what they're going to say, which of course gives it way more a lot more value.
Gosh, I wish there was a way to do that with most of social media. Take a little bit more time.
God, wouldn't that be fantastic?
Pause, please.
That'd be an interesting feature, right? Like if like a box comes up, like I'm going to give you a 60-second timer, and I want you to read what you just did right there. Right.
Well, that actually happened to me. That actually happened to me several months ago on Facebook. I hit send the comment, and I'm actually glad it caught me because.
And the AI was like, well,
yeah, are you sure you want to send this? I'm like, wow. I think I had a few.
Really?
Yeah, I think I had a few keywords in there that maybe.
I didn't even know that existed. That's
I
amazing.
didn't know that worked. That's great.
That was the first time.
That's really great.
Yeah, I think I had an asshole in there or something, and I guess the AI was able to read my tone. Yeah. He's like, I don't think you should hit send.
There's no unsend button on this platform, you know. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm glad it did. It's one of those my 24-hour rule. You know, you type something out, and then you wake up the next morning, see if you still feel the same way.
Yeah, I've sent some of those, and you go back in to read it, you're like,
he's like, how many?
I wish I didn't do that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Get you in trouble real quick.
It's humble. Keeps us humble.
That's why
I humble.
Yeah. That's why I don't comment on social media much anymore. Can't say something nice, don't say it all, right?
It's true. Or at least with the right intentionality.
Yeah.
I think that's evolved to just being a lurker on Reddit. Just
right.
Oh God. Reddit.
YouTube comments and Reddit, they're the best.
Oh, look at the comment. Christine Plunkett says, I got one too because I said I wanted to punch someone in the face. I was kidding. Violated community standards.
I think that's what it said. You could potentially be violating community standards. Are you sure you want to send this?
That was it.
That's amazing.
Gotcha. It doesn't matter if you put the laughing emoji after anything, right? It's like, oh, it's just kidding.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep. I learned that from my first sales manager. He had a way of saying the damnedest shit, but he would follow it up with a laugh.
Yeah. You're like
complete,
so mad right now.
Complete laugh. Yeah, but I'm just like, why? Like, how do you get away with saying this shit? You know? He followed it up with a big old belly laugh. I'm like,
probably like
start using that myself.
Communicator.
Yeah, use that one. Yeah. That's good.
Is that what our vice president?
Call you an asshole to your face and then laugh about it.
Yeah, right. Oh, Alex, you're gonna get in trouble in a minute.
You were about to get in trouble.
I heard what you said.
Yep. You got that covered.
What'd you say?
You got lucky.
Oh, enjoy your cell phone connection, Jeff.
All right. I'll get you later.
For all those that were really paying attention, right?
I did not catch it. I had a text come up on my screen. I'm looking at it now. Thanks. I'll find out later.
Sanders.
Yep. Can't undo that one.
Oh, so good.
Yep. So guys.
So what's the dates on this again? September
11th through the 13th. It's a Sunday at 5:30. We'll have registration open that afternoon at our hotel block, which is like a block and a half away from the venue. So if you are headed, and if there's any industry partners watching that want to go, and you go on the website right now, we've got that sold out. We kind of held a few back. So you're going to need to message us. You can hit us on LinkedIn, and, we'll put you through a series of rigorous tests to make sure that it's okay that you come. But then dealer tickets are only $3.99, and it includes Sunday night meal, all Monday meals, and then breakfast and hot breakfast both days, breakfast and lunch on Tuesday. We'll go till Tuesday at noon. Monday and Tuesday are full blocks of content. We've got that Monday night concert where we're basically flipping everything inside out.
All meals are included with that.
Yep. Everything's included from a meal perspective. So, and then the primary hotel room block, I think as of yesterday afternoon, had 40 left in it. Now there's other hotels around, but
we started with 196. So,
right. Yep. So, if you're going and you want to be close to everyone, there's 208 rooms there, and we have 196 of them. But those other hotels are also available. I know a few people are already staying at the Ritz because dealers, we fancy. So a lot of really neat opportunities there, and would love to have anyone out and be a part of it. Philly's, like we said, an easy city to fly in, fly out of. And we're just gonna kind of throw down and have a bunch of fun and rub elbows with the other bright people from our industry. So it'll be great.
Well, congratulations to you guys. We've talked about it a couple times, and we were doing I was part of sort of a couple of Joe Webb was part of, Eric Milch was a part of it, and it was a dealer think tank. And I think we had 13 dates on the calendar. And I think we did 11 or 12 of them. 1 or 2 ended up getting canceled.
Wow.
But then we did a DealerRefresh one, part of the Dealer Think Tank conference in the Baltimore area. And I've, many times like, we should start a conference. We should do a DealerRefresh conference. And then by the time I really got around to being real serious about it, then it was like, God, there was 2 or 3 conferences every single month. Like we were being conferenced out. And that was a couple years before, I guess that was 2014 through 2018. I swear there was probably 40 conferences each year. It's like, I don't want to do this now. Everyone's got a conference, that's not the right way to look at it or approach it, but that's what I did. And so they're a lot of work, man. So if you guys did you hire a coordinator?
We did.
Yep.
We did for this. It's our first time getting some outside help. So that's been a big help. Big help.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're a lot of work.
And because we've got the
So
media side of the team, like we've got a little bit of a team. So we have that outside coordinator.
Mhm.
We've got a team, and we're growing this thing to be more than we're not an events company. We're a media company that happens to have events. So we're building a whole other ecosystem of stuff so we've got all that team kind of pouring in and creative and all that type of stuff. So, yeah.
Well, you guys let us know what we can do to help out, promote. Like I said, I can send you over the size of the ads. So if you want
Be awesome.
throw together a few banner ads, we'll get those up for you. Start a dedicated thread in the forums. And please take advantage of it, man.
Cool.
Yeah, take advantage.
We'll jump in.
Eyeballs.
I jumped in with my Asodu email now. So we'll jump in and get a part of the conversation and make sure and share it up.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we'll get that over there so everyone knows about it. Cool. Well, again, guys, congratulations, because it's like I said, I know it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. And sometimes, going back to that one comment, sometimes you do have to build the plane in the air. Because I know for myself, I have a way of talking myself out of doing shit like that.
Oh, yeah. You gotta
Hence
start.
why there's never been a conference under DealerRefresh.
It's a whole thing. Be careful if you ever say go.
Exactly. That's why I hate saying go. Yeah.
Well, good.
So,
well, thanks
awesome.
for having us on, guys. Really appreciate it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You got it, man. You got it. All right, guys. Have a great weekend.
Talk to you soon.
See y'all.